I woke up this morning. The sun is beautiful and bright. No, my joy is in this moment.
Hi guys, Emma here. Thank you so much for joining me at Faming for God. I'm coming to you from the Chicagoland area, and I'm so excited about this particular episode. On this particular episode, we will be interviewing Miss Taylor Burns. Who is Taylor? Well, she's gifted, she's talented, and she's a friend to our show.
At just 5 years old, I grew up in a Baptist church where I learned to sing and play the piano. As I got older, in the hardest of times, I found comfort in music on a spiritual level, not knowing that my comfort would be in God, who allowed me to have the gift and find Him through it. I realized that my talent was made to inspire others through every lyric and every note God has taught me how to play.
At this time, I'm going to turn it over to our principal host, Miss Alexis Colon.
Awesome. Well, welcome to the Faming for God talk show.
Thank you.
Taylor, we are so excited to have you here. So tell us a little bit about your single as you released it. And I have seen it all over the internet, on Instagram posts, the little music sign on people's Insta stories. And I just love it. It's about God. It's about you and your relationship with Him. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so it's called Leaning on You. And this song came to me as I was moving, as I decided to change things up in my walk and in my journey in life in general. And sometimes when change happens, it's a little rocky, There's so many transitions that happen. There's so many unknowns. And at the time, I was extremely blessed, and I still am, but I was like, God, even through the blessings, I just need to lean on you. Right. There's really nothing else I can do right now. But through the song, you still hear so much hope. Even when you feel things or you're going through things, when you lean on God, there's always hope in the end. So my goal is for other people to feel that, to other people to be encouraged by that, inspired by that, and to just enjoy the music. Sometimes it's background music, sometimes it's just to worship. But it's really just to spread the hope of God.
That is amazing. And I know that your friends are here that have honestly just become fans. So we are so excited to talk about how your career in Jesus, nothing is impossible. You can be viral. I can imagine you just talking about your relationship with God through this song. This song will take you places you will never know. Yeah. And this song is truly just you expressing your faith and love to God. So I'm really excited for our time together. And I know that our friend Hannah will be the first one to ask you questions.
Awesome.
Taylor.
Hello, Hannah.
I love your new song. I've been listening to it almost every day in my personal times with God, and it's really good. Congrats.
Thank you.
My question for you is, I've seen you around at church, and we've worked on a lot of projects together. I've seen just the way that you live your life, and you're so hardworking, and so I wanted to ask, because really you do really radiate self-confidence, and so where does your self-confidence come from?
It's a good question. I get asked this a lot, and it makes me think of Hebrews 13:6, and that scripture basically talks about how we have confidence. Who should we be afraid of when God is with us? There was a time where I actually went through an array of health issues, and at the time I gained 120 pounds, and I can say through all the things that I went through going through those health issues, from feeling not like myself to being healthy again, the only thing that changed was my mindset and my faith about what God can do. My outward appearance, it changed, but more so my spirituality, and that's what drives my ambition. That's what pushes me forward and gives me hope. And so it's not really much so what people think or how things go. It's just the hope that God is always stagnant. He's always the same, and he always has promises for us. And so that's what my answer would be. It's a big question as a woman, especially in the music industry. It's really common for us to want to seek human approval.
Yeah.
Even from our friends, hey, how do I look in this outfit? Or does this look okay? Or things like that. But the main thing that keeps me grounded and really at peace is just the sovereignty of God and his consistency.
Yes.
So.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's so true because life is so volatile. There's so many ups and downs. I love that we can really just, and how you have found your confidence in something that, and someone who doesn't change.
Yeah.
So, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I'd love to ask the next question. And you mentioned when you were answering Hannah's question just about your ambition. And that is something that I admire about you, is I just see you as a very ambitious woman, whether that be in the ministry or with your music, obviously climbing the Billboard Top 100. And so I just really see you as a woman who wants to make a real difference in the world. And so I was wondering where that belief and ambition really comes from.
Yeah.
Because this world is huge.
Yeah.
And so it's like, to really believe that we can make a difference in such a big world is really awesome. So I'd love to just hear your heart more on that.
Oh, thank you, Jessie. I think when I think about my faith and things like that, the people that God used were unschooled, ordinary. He used teenagers. There were only 12 of them. And he did that to exemplify his power. And so when I think about my ambition, what I want to do, I think of myself merely as a vessel, not necessarily out of my power or I can conquer the world, but it's like God already overcame the world. So he can do anything through me. So who am I to stop that power from coming out and helping other people, inspiring people, loving people? And so that's where it really comes from, is that I'm just here to be used however I need to. And I really want to see God do amazing things for the people that I love around me and all my friends and even in my own life. So
yeah, I love that. Such a humble answer too, because you're so talented, but I love that you're just like willing to use your talents for God to make a difference.
Yes, well, I really love the questions that the girls have asked, and Taylor, like everybody has said, I'm such a fan of this song, and it was honestly really encouraging for me to hear it, because just seeing like your faith express itself through love and your talent and really just the way that you glorify God is so beautiful to see. So thank you for allowing God to use you. It's such an inspiration. And my question for you was, I've noticed throughout your song and really just the way that you communicate with people in general, the empathy that you're able to showcase through that. And really, I loved the lyrics in Leanin on You, and I love words and I pay attention to them a lot. And so that's something that I notice, is that you're able to just express that love for God through your lyrics, and just the compassion that also comes with that. And I wanted to ask you, what would you say is the driving force behind that compassion that you share with people in your music and in the way that you express yourself in your life?
That's such a good question. Thank you for asking that, Crystal. So honestly, there's been a lot that I've gone through starting at a young age, starting with mental health, with physical health, just deep pain that I've always experienced. And I would say that music was one of the first things that helped me to express that. There'd be so many things I couldn't say in words, but I could write a song and I would feel like it would express it and people would actually hear me. And what I didn't understand was my soul was really tied to the healing of God, and he gave me that gift to help others heal in that way. And so for me, as a person, we're all human. We all experience life. So we all have pain that we've gone through, that we go through. And as someone that is healing and has healed so much through just the comfort of God, my desire is to help other people experience that the way that God has helped me to heal, through an outlet, through lyrics, and just being unified with God. So that's what helps me to express that in a vulnerable way when I'm singing, or think about the lyrics, because I like to keep it broad so everybody can relate, but also speak to my own testimony in a certain way as well.
Yeah, that's incredible. Thank you for sharing that.
Yes.
I think that's an aspect of what makes good music really, really great, is that you're able to connect with your audience from a place of understanding and then share, and love with that. So thank you for answering.
Yes, thank you, Crystal.
Yeah.
Well, from everyone's questions and responses to your response, I can tell that you are so important and that your music is inspirational. But I do have to ask you, why do you personally think that your music and talent is important?
That's a good question. I would say that I just take it as a personal responsibility that God has given me a talent. I think it's beautiful that God has given everyone a talent. People don't believe that. They're like, what's my talent? Or I don't have a talent, but they do. But God has gifted us in each way to help glorify his name in one way or another. And so I take it as a personal responsibility. I take it as something that I'm proud of and something that I want to give my all towards, because it really helps others to physically feel peace and the love of God, and it makes me feel that way too. And so that's why I think it's important, not because I'm more important than anyone else, but I take my personal responsibility seriously. And it's very interesting because people are like, what kind of music do you put out? What is this? And I'm like, I don't really know. It's a mixture of genres. It's like neo soul plus R&B. But it's really just soul music. It's really what I feel that God is saying to me, what I internally seriously am experiencing, and I want others to partake in. And so that's why I think it's important, is because I get to relate to others, I get to love others without even seeing them. And it's a gift to be able to do something so amazing.
Yeah, well, I definitely agree. I think that your music, your genre, your style will reach anyone because we all are looking for our soul to be connected to our creator. So thank you so much for being on this show. Thank you so much for being a great example of faith expressing itself through love. And thank you to the audience for tuning in. Check out her new single, Leaning on You.
When trouble comes my way, in darkness falls.